Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Remember a few months ago I talked about this, the overdrive controller for the Vectrex? Basically it's a steering wheel that allows you to play games like Pole Position here, and it works really well as a steering wheel. Let me just get my game started here. So yeah, I really like this steering wheel. It's great, and the ability to easily change gears on the fly is a lot nicer than using the thumbstick that the standard Vectrex controller comes with. Now at the time I did my video, there was a new piece of hardware coming out that somebody told me about. It's called the MiniVex pedal. Basically it's a gas pedal that you can use in conjunction with different controllers, including this one apparently, where it'll act as a button press. So you could use it like your gas, or other uses like hyperspace or something, and you could actually use it to free up your hands and do other things in games. Like for example, I find it hard to do both the gas in pole position and do the gear shift. It'd be nice if I had a pedal I could push to the metal and get through the game like that. Now, when I mentioned that was available, I actually didn't realize it, but apparently it did quite well for some of the sales for the MiniVex pedal. I was approached by a guy, Classic Game Nut. Oh, I'm over. A guy called Classic Game Nut on the Atari Age forum approached me and he said, "Hey, you're the guy who posted about this overdrive controller, and you mentioned our MiniVex pedal. It's actually resulted in quite a few sales, and we really would like to thank you for that. So we'd like to send you a MiniVex pedal as a reward." That's really nice of you. You don't have to do that. But lo and behold, here it is. It has arrived. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you very much, Classic Game Nut. So I figure, yeah, let's unbox this, plug it in, and try it out with a couple of games. Okay, let's open it up, try it out, and see what it's like. I'm going to actually find out what the present place is where you can get the MiniVex pedal. I have a feeling it's not actually from Walmart, but regardless. Yeah, I'll check in with Classic Games Nut. Oh, there's an interesting point. Don't ever try to drive and talk at the same time. I did his name wrong. It's not Classic Game Nut singular, it's Classic Games Nut plural, so that's worthy of noting. So I'll check in with him and find out if there's like a more appropriate or official link for you to be able to buy these things now. But let's just see what we got. There it is there. All right, very nice though. And there's a note, and the note basically says, for use with Vectrex, connect the selector box to player 1 or player 2 port. Plug your favorite controller into the selector box. If desired, turn the dial to select 1, 2, or 3. By the way, this also works with the Atari 2600, and I'm going to give that a shot in a future video, because that's kind of a neat idea. But let's, for now, hook it up to the Vectrex. So, what do we got here? So the controller will go into this, and then this will go into the Vectrex. And it has a capacity to map any button you'd like. So, although it seems perfectly fit for any kind of a driving game, one other application that somebody mentioned that I think is actually really genius is you could use this thing. Oh, there's the pedal. Oh, wow. That's a lot smaller than I was expecting. I mean, it's good. Kind of like one you would see on a sewing machine, I guess. Yeah, the app, a really killer app that I think would be great is to use this thing for something like Mindstorm, where you've got hyperspace as an option, and of course your fingers are too busy with the left and right and shoot that you never really think in terms of, oh yeah, I might need to slide my hand over to play or to hit hyperspace. But with this thing, oh, there you go. So that goes into the Vectrex. Wow, this is made of solid metal in here. Got a nice selector. Yeah, this is good, high quality stuff. This is great. It's got a lot of heft to it. That's nice. Yeah, I like the MiniVex pedal. This is great. So what I'll do, so we got basically, so 1, 2, 3, or 4. If I was, say, playing hyperspace, I believe button 4 is to shoot, and 3 is hyperspace. I can't remember. We'll do Mindstorm later. If I wanted to use this as the hyperspace button, I could just select that over to the one that I use for hyperspace. I think that's number 3. And then I can use my regular controller plugged in there, do all the shooting and stuff, and flying around. And then if things get really tight, hit that with my foot as the hyperspace button. I like that. Maybe 3 is for thrust. Is it 2 for hyperspace? You know what? We're going to find out later. However, for now, we're going to do pole position again. So that's button number 4 is the gas. We'll leave that there. We'll plug in the overdrive controller into here, and then this into the Vectrex. And here's the setup. So we've got the MiniVex going into the Vectrex, overdrive into it, selector for gas sitting there, and a pedal on the floor. So let's try this out. Working good. Working really good so far. Well, except for that part. Yeah, there we go. It's doing its thing. I just wish I could stop crashing. Much easier for changing gear. I'll try taking my foot off the pedal just to prove that it is in fact accelerating. Get a bit of speed. Take my foot off. Yeah, so you can hear, it definitely makes a difference. This is nice. I mean, I'm crashing all the time because I've got the camera running, but yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Let's try a different one. I mean, you just know I got to try out Hyperchase, so let's give this a try. Okay, not so great. But it does help that I don't have to think about the gas with one finger, and I can actually just do the gear shift. And again, let me take my foot off the pedal. Okay, bad example. Ugh, another bad example. Okay, we're in 4th gear. Take my foot off the pedal. Yep, you can hear it's definitely slowing down. Interesting. So yeah, definitely works in Hyperchase with the overdrive controller. And I really like it. Boy, it does free me up. And it feels visceral. It feels like I'm really driving now. So let's see what Mindstorm is like. And I've changed the overlay. Forgot to do that with Hyperchase, but regardless. It'll be interesting to see. I've got a modified Genesis controller here. Yeah, that's for shooting. And 3 is for accelerate. So if I want to put that into position 2, let's see if that's hyperspace. Oh, it is. Yeah, see, that makes a nice emergency provision. If things are getting too hot, I'll just hit the button. Yeah, that's really good. And there's a few games where having that sort of extra spot for things like hyperspace. There's a game I've got that's like Defender, Protector, where you can do the smart bomb move. I think that would be something I would want to map to this. So yes, very, very pleased. definitely works in conjunction with the modded Genesis controller. And I guess just to round this out, let's just double make sure it really does work with the original controller as well, just to round it all out. And the final test with the original Vectrex controller. Same routine, working like a charm. Oh, except for I kept dying. And hyperspace me. Look at that. Yes. This is a very nice piece of hardware. I am very pleased. And I think this will have some very interesting uses beyond racing and driving games. There's a lot of things I think I can think of where having this sort of emergency procedure extra button that I could always hit with my foot would actually be very handy, very useful. Well, color me impressed. This MiniVex pedal is really, really versatile and high quality equipment. I mean, it feels very sturdy. It's a nice little machine. And what a great addition to a Vectrex controller setup. I think it's really going to work out well. So again, huge big thanks to Classic Games Nut, plural, for sending me this. You didn't have to do that, but I'm very pleased that I was able to help you out, and now I've got this as a bonus, so I'm really, really appreciative. Thank you very much, and until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.